Williston, North Dakota. In 2008, the American oil boom transformed the sleepy town into an industrial powerhouse, where tens of thousands of workers come to make their fortune in black gold.
It's a gold rush town.
But the cash pouring in from fracking also funds a black market economy in extortion.
We run the town. We don't have no rivals.
And prostitution.
There is a lot of guys here. They make a lot of money.
Now the oil boom is going bust. Laid off workers are turning to drugs.
Meth just gives you one heck of a rush.
And theft.
You get rid of one bad guy and two replace him.
The cops are stretched to their limits.
Hey, bud! Hey!
And organized crime is muscling in.
If you don't do what you're told, you get.
Welcome to Williston, Boomtown, USA, where for some, life is a frackin' hell.
Not pretty. It does not smell pretty at all. I see a male individual laying on his side. Lots of blood.
An oil worker, dead in his trailer.
Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. The blood has rushed to this side of the head because he was laying on that side.
Victim of the black gold rush.
There's multiple alcohol bottles on the scene, empty brandy bottles, large. It appears that he was on pills.
Another get-rich-quick dream over. Williston's oil boom is keeping the cops busy.
The deceased was a male in his 40s, 45, I believe, was out here working from Minnesota.
It's Sergeant Fry's job to pick up the pieces.
It's a very lonely lifestyle out here in Williston. You come out here with a cell phone and a dream of money, and you're lonely all the time. There was blood from the couch area to the bed area, all the way. And it appeared that he had thrown up blood. No bullet holes, no stab wounds, nothing suspicious in nature.
Suspected cause of death, alcohol poisoning. Sergeant Fry heads to the sheriff's office to file his report.
The boom does define this town, big time. Our sign says, "Welcome to Williston, Boomtown, USA."
What gives Boomtown its name is its location. 12 billion barrels of crude lie beneath the town in the middle of the Bakken Rock Formation. Drilling goes on 24/7. And in a town brimming with black gold, organized crime has surfaced for a cut of the profits.
There's a lot of money to be made in this town because of the oil boom.
Rick's gang makes most of its money off a good old-fashioned protection racket. Every morning he rumbles down Main Street to collect his street taxes.
We love Harleys because they're loud. We're Americans. We're very patriotic.
But this biker gang doesn't travel in a pack.
If you come into town with 20 bikers at once, you bring attention to yourself. So we come in from all different directions, 1, 2 at a time. Cops don't know what's going on. They have no clue.
With his backup in position, Rick gets to work.
I'd run extortion. Bars, clubs, strip joints, places of ill repute, you would call it.
In return for security, he takes a cut of shady business done on Main Street.
The club owners know what's going on. I know the women are doing what they're doing, For every time a woman gets laid from a guy, I get $150. I get mine off the top. I can make a good, easily $5,000 a week.
The bikers favor the direct approach, with the top dog taking point.
My president comes in, tells the owner this is the way it's going to be. Well, if we just say the owner was very easily persuaded. If you don't do what you're told, you get. I've seen guys get their arms broke, their heads bashed in.
Rick's 20-year club membership gives him the status to call in the heavies when required.
You got members behind you, backing you up. If something goes wrong, they cover you. We do feel like we're the true outlaws.
But loyalty like this comes at a price.
There's no backing out. There is no retirement. The only way you can retire is you die or you go to prison.
It's Friday night, the end of a 12-day shift on the oil field. The oilmen have made good money this week. They head for the bars. The sheriff's department expects a busy night.
Oil in North Dakota has changed the way of life forever.
Deputy Metzger used to know everyone here by name, but he can't keep up with all the new faces.
By definition, oil field's a dirty job, and it's brought in a lot of dirty people.
Fracking companies don't all do criminal background checks.
There's not a lot of higher class people in Williston. We're seeing the bottom of the barrel. It is a direct effect of the oil field.
He's looking for troublemakers tonight.
We've been coming downtown for a few years now. The people that I'm having to deal with on a daily basis are primarily male in their 20s.
The bars often get violent at closing time.
This area down here is going to be pretty busy when the bars close. We find a lot of people cannot control themselves. Once alcohol starts flowing, that's when bad things happen.
Dispatch 4968.
Reports are coming in of trouble at a biker bar.
4967 copies. We're gonna go head over there just in case. Doors are open. Sounds like there's a band in there. We see a lot of fights there.
He knows that trouble involving bikers has a way of spilling down Main Street. So Williston PD backs him up.
You're on public property, buddy.
I'm not public property. And you know it, and don't argue it with me.
To prevent anything, I would just not argue.
Metzger manages to cool down the situation, and the bikers ride uptown. The cops head to another hot spot, the strip clubs.
Several people have been killed down on Main Street. We've had shootings, multiple aggravated assault outside of the strip clubs. So if people know that we're there, they'll go home peacefully. The nights that we're not out there, people don't leave.
Police form up across the street, hoping to deter trouble.
The city has gotten used to sending most of their guys downtown in a proactive way just to be visible at bar close. It's helped stop a lot of fights.
Tonight, the street's clear without any problems.
People are going home.
But when drinkers get behind the wheel, more trouble starts. The deputy gets a call.
4968 RE102.
You want to start sliding this way? I'm going to go roadside with this 104. Also, there is a 32 in the vehicle.
10-4, you're right there. Potential for a DUI, and there is a weapon in the vehicle.
There's no time to waste.
4967, dispatch.
Metzger gives Deputy Jonas permission to proceed.
Is the gun okay?
Yeah.
The driver's got a lot at stake if he's over the limit.
This gentleman's been up here for about 9 months now. He's working for a pretty big oil field company. He's got a good job. He doesn't want to lose it.
The driver says he's only had one drink.
It doesn't take much alcohol to get to .08. People can function very well. They can drive a vehicle, walk and turn, but they're still over the legal limit for North Dakota.
So they breathalyze him. He's under.
He's free to go.
Good to go.
Yeah, I haven't broken any laws.
You are free to go.
The guy's in the clear, but many others aren't so lucky. Deputy Metzger thinks Boomtown's drinking problem is down to stress from high-pressure oil jobs.
This town is very small, and a lot of times people just need to let off some steam. There's nothing social about Williston drinking. Let's drink until we pass out and can't drink anymore.
So Deputy Metzger will be back tomorrow night and every night. Next morning, Boomtown's biggest criminal has business to attend to.
I have clients, we talking CEO of billion-dollar businesses. Any entrepreneur is always going to follow the money.
Today, he's following that money to the train station. For a pickup he hopes will make him hundreds of thousands of dollars. In Williston, North Dakota, fortunes are made in oil fracking. But the criminal underworld generates its millions in other ways.
Prostitution is bringing in a very, very large income.
Wild Bill came here from California to expand his business.
I have 15 girls working for me right now, and I'm looking to maybe try to bring 10 more up here.
Today, he's picking up a new recruit from the West Coast, but girls come from all over.
A variety of places: California, New York, New Jersey.
Many oil men away from home are willing to pay for sex. So Wild Bill's girls are raking in the cash.
Everything here in Williston is expensive, so majority of my girls make easily $90,000 a year.
And he takes an even bigger cut.
And so I will probably make $150,000.
Multiply that by 15 girls, and Wild Bill's business makes him over $3 million a year.
I'm fair. I keep just a little bit more than the girls because I provide a housing for them as well.
But his plans for expansion are hitting a brick wall. The price of oil is dropping. Unskilled men who made 6 figures a year ago are losing their jobs. Truck stops used to be a hot spot for prostitution. Now, the trucks are fewer, and it's forcing the prostitution business to adapt. Working girls aren't soliciting in public. They're using the internet to book more customers faster, but at their peril.
The internet has birthed a whole new market. When there's going to be men here working in the oil fields, there's always going to be a market for sex. Since the internet, it's kind of gone behind the scenes. Now the men go on to internet sites such as...
Wendy thinks it's putting women at risk.
I think it is less safe. Over the internet, you know, you're seeing pictures, getting a call in, walking into a situation blindly.
Wendy came to this truck stop today to encourage prostitutes to leave the game. But she can't find any. The oil slowdown's pushing prostitution underground, making her outreach work much harder.
I think the biggest problem still facing Williston is a lack of understanding. There is a real deep, embedded thought that girls involved in prostitution are doing it by choice.
Just a mile away, one prostitute works the internet from the comfort of her bedroom.
The website is really helpful because I don't always have to leave home, and it helps get my face out there.
Annabella earns her living as an independent prostitute from California. She schedules appointments with guys online.
I would post my ad on the website and get myself together.
It isn't long before a new booking comes in.
Okay, so I checked the website. I actually have an appointment in about half an hour.
But the oil slowdown means Annabella now makes about half of what she used to a year ago.
When things were good, I'll see 4 to 5 people a day. Till now, it's maybe 2, maybe 3. I went from making 15 grand a week to half of that.
She can't afford to drop her prices because rents in Williston still rival Manhattan.
It's very, very expensive to live here. On average, here for a 1-bedroom, 1-bath, it's over $2,000 a month. You have to make money to live here. If you don't have a job, you're going to be out on the street.
With unemployment rising, former oil workers are stuck in Williston with no cash. And some turn to crime.
I hate to call myself a criminal, but I guess I am.
Cowboys always on the lookout for scrap metal.
I find something that catches my eye.
Spools of copper wire are a regular sight in the oil fields and can fetch around $4,000 on the black market.
If it's copper in there, it's money. That's copper with a gate around it. If we caught it at the right time, probably $4,000, $5,000, maybe $6,000.
Cowboy only steals old copper from unlocked work yards. He knows getting greedy would get him caught.
Because if you take the new stuff, then they're not going to have any scrap left from it. That's when the police will come in. You know, some of these places, they pay the police extra money to monitor their place. You know?
Sergeant Fry is looking for thieves like Cowboy.
The thefts are skyrocketing. We've had $70,000 pickups stolen, $100,000 machinery taken.
The cops are struggling to keep up with the rise in thefts.
It's a vicious circle because you get rid of one bad guy and 2 replace him.
Cruising the oil patch gives Fry his best chance of deterring thieves.
Hey, I'm going there, buddy.
Oh, Lord. The police?
Cowboy's got some trouble. This fracking boom town is falling on hard times. And some are stealing to survive, like Cowboy, the copper thief. A police patrol scares him off.
Son of a...
He shakes off the cop and heads home empty-handed. It's a cat and mouse game that Sergeant Fry knows all too well.
One of the downfalls of small town copping is we're driving the same streets as the bad guys.
Bad guys with needs.
I don't know that I've ever met a thief that isn't also some kind of addict. A lot of them do it just to get their fix.
When Williston's boom began in 2008, drugs soon followed the money and caught Cowboy in their clutches.
You know, when I got here and the meth came into my life, the whole world changed. Meth has changed me to the point where I don't even like myself.
Cowboy injects it because he believes the high lasts longer.
It's once every 2 or 3 days thing for me. Instead of every hour, every 2 or 3 hours, you gotta smoke a bowl, you know.
A former oil field supervisor, he failed a drug test and lost his job. And he's not alone.
Williston is a hellhole. When the boom was at its biggest, I worked making, gosh, probably around $3,000 a week. Back where I'm from, you would never even think about making that kind of money.
But Hoodoo's six-figure salary has vanished with the boom.
Meth has become a crutch. But before I go out and steal something, I usually have to be high. But I feel so rotten about myself, I gotta get some kind of courage, because I hate what I'm doing so much.
The fracking slowdown is making it easier for them.
You know, like me and Cowboy, we'll go out there, and where before everything was spread out, like all the equipment and everything was on site, now they all got it in yards, and you could just go there and pretty much take your pick of what you want.
Meth is trapping them in a cycle of drug use and theft.
It keeps me here right now because I can't get out. It's just making me worry every day when I wake up to just say, here we go, it's another day, you know? Just like Groundhog Day.
Oil companies are laying off their least skilled workers by the thousands. Seeking a cheaper cost of living, people have moved 70 miles east of Williston to Fort Berthold, a Native American reservation. And the influx is creating a big problem for the reservation's police department. Only 12 tribal cops police this million-acre reservation. They're seriously outnumbered.
The oil boom has changed the way we do law enforcement around here. Since the oils came here, there's a big increase in crime. There's a lot more drug arrests, violence. Everything across the board has gone up.
Lieutenant Hart thinks the fracking boom has attracted violent ex-cons to the area.
It's easier for them to get on the oil rig here where they don't really have to pass a strict background. And some of them are violent offenders.
Here on the reservation, criminals can exploit a loophole in the law. Tribal cops don't have the right to jail non-tribal suspects. Only a county, state, or federal cop has that authority. making Lieutenant Hart's job very difficult.
The state laws don't work here, and a non-enrolled member does not fall under tribal law.
A 911 call comes in.
All units be advised, it's going to be an assault.
10-4, thank you. The female is assaulted. This lady is an enrolled member.
But she lives 17 miles away.
That's one of our problems with having short numbers spanning the whole reservation. We are really, really short-handed.
Time to put the pedal to the metal. Tribal police are racing to a domestic violence call.
So it sounds like he used his hands and assaulted the female.
Lieutenant Hart's seen a spike in this kind of crime. It's often a result of out-of-state workers having relationships with local Native American women.
Most of our assaults are usually non-enrolled males, unenrolled females. With people now marrying non-enrolled members, and our culture is changing. Now, I don't know half the people here.
He believes oil fracking has made domestic violence worse.
We've had a lot of enrolled and non-enrolled people married that are from here. We've rarely got those calls of domestic violence between them. The majority of it's from the non-enrolled males from not around here.
While the oil industry may or may not have attracted violence to the reservation, one thing is certain. It's siphoning off skilled cops.
A few of the officers now that when I first transferred over are working in the oil field now.
Lieutenant Hart's getting close to the domestic violence call. But when he arrives on scene, they're arresting the woman for intoxication while in charge of a minor.
Come on. Want to take a breath?
I got
blow.
a Christian Daniel.
You're not blowing. You need to blow. You need to blow. Just like that. Well, we're going to figure that out right now.
She's too drunk to explain what happened.
Okay.
Look, you're not cooperating with us, so we're not going to cooperate with you here, okay? You need to help us out. Right now, you're just being detained, okay?
And the man who attacked her is gone.
Where'd your boyfriend go? You don't know? You can sit down right there.
Where am I gonna sit?
Right there. There you go. See? Now pick your feet up.
Lieutenant Hart gets the whole story from her family.
The non-enrolled Hispanic male assaulted the enrolled female. Both were intoxicated with a very young juvenile child. Right now, we're going to go look for the non-enrolled suspect.
Suspect, if you're in the area, come on, your hands up, or you will be bit.
4 of the reservation's 12 cops searched the scene for a suspect they considered drunk and dangerous. They finally get a tip.
Might be down at the black stocking hat on and the black sweater.
He's gone to a local casino.
Yeah, he's known to carry. So Mike said use a bit of caution. He's probably armed.
Casino security is monitoring the fugitive.
They got eyes on him out there?
I got my guy on the inside over at the casino doing surveillance right now.
Okay.
En route, the lieutenant picks up fresh intel. The suspect's already wanted by the feds.
10-4. I don't know if it's drug related, why he's got the warrant, or it could be a previous assault on this enrolled female, why he would have that federal warrant for him.
The cops quietly pull into the casino parking lot. Fearing a violent showdown, they're running stealth mode.
We got one of our officers that's gonna go in plain clothes there so he doesn't scare the guy off, just to ID him, see if he's in there. And then we're gonna go in.
Drunk suspects carrying concealed weapons are a common problem for the tribal cops.
If they didn't use the actual firearm in the crime, they are carrying it with them. They are usually under the influence of something.
Lieutenant Hart backs up the K-9 unit at the rear in case the suspect tries to make a run for it.
We don't want him to get stupid in there with all those people if he does have his firearm on him. Okay, they're gonna be coming around the back door here.
Something's wrong.
6'5", 6'4".
The radio's quiet. Too quiet. On the Fort Berthold Reservation, tribal cops are taking down a potentially armed federal fugitive.
6'5", 6'4".
But their undercover isn't responding.
5665, 5664.
6'4".
Finally, word comes in.
Good.
That's a certain name, but different guy.
Same name, different guy?
Yeah, there's a Mexican.
10-4.
It's not their suspect.
Same name, different man.
Lieutenant Hart has to head back out to continue the search. While he spends the rest of his shift crisscrossing the reservation, back in the fading boomtown of Williston, desperate men are going nowhere. Cowboy has had enough.
I want to leave Williston so bad that every morning when I come outside my door, I make a plan on how I can leave that day. What's holding me back is having the finances. I need about $5 grand.
One final haul of stolen copper could buy his ticket out of town. And he knows where to find it.
I've been in there once, and then I made plans to go back again. If I sold that much at one time and I got that much money, I'd probably get the hell out of here.
He and his partner, Hoodoo, will try it tonight.
We make sure we know what we're doing, and we wear clothes that are gonna hide who we are, just in case we are on camera.
Hoodoo prepares the getaway vehicle.
We change tags on the vehicle. We change the tires so the tracks are different, and we make sure we're not gonna get caught.
Cowboy goes to meet their crew.
I got a couple of guys that I use. We just suit up just like we're workers and just go in there and grab it like we own the place and take it. I say I got a couple of guys, but they rotate because you can't never count on nobody because people get greedy, and that's what gets them caught.
And greed is what Sergeant Fry is counting on. Thefts are increasing on a weekly basis, so he must focus on the root cause: methamphetamine addiction.
Methamphetamine is one of our biggest problems here in Williston.
More and more people caught in a downward spiral by the oil bust are seeking temporary relief through meth. But temporary has a way of turning permanent.
Once that drug gets its teeth into you, it's hard to get its teeth out of you. It ruins lives.
The sheriffs have called in the feds to help them tackle the crisis.
It's gotten to the point now where their FBI, Bureau of Criminal Investigation, U.S. Attorney's Office formed a Bakken strike force to come in and assist with organized crime in the Bakken. And it's not something we've been used to. It's something we've had to adapt to.
The cops are doing their best to get a handle on where the local meth labs are at. With demand so high, meth cooks are enjoying a boom of their own. and outlaw motorcycle gangs are managing production, distribution, and sales.
This town here is easily a meth town.
With Rick's protection racket dipping in the downturn, he's starting to capitalize on the rising demand for drugs.
Every biker club has a cooker. Cook about 5 pounds of meth a week. I got 5 individuals in town that deal with it. They pay me the money. The profits come back to me.
Cooking meth is lucrative. Rick is now making $100 grand a month. 5 years ago, outlaw bikers saw that Williston's boom might just make a good market for meth. Now, with out-of-work addicts willing to pay any price for a fix, business has never been better.
A lot of money to be made out here. There's a lot of folks up here from all over the country, and they're meth heads, tweakers.
While bikers ride out the bust untouched, Cowboy's path to Easy Street relies on a robbery that avoids the cops.
I like to go just before the business traffic comes out. I'd say between 4 and 5 o'clock. You know, that way, I mean, if they see me on the job site, it's not too late at night and it's not too early in the morning.
Once Cowboy has the copper wire, he'll lay low.
Yeah, I found if you just sit on it for a couple of days, maybe a week or two, and break it down, it's what they call bare bright. You know, just straight copper. It's virtually untraceable.
But he's still got to get the haul out of Williston to sell it.
You lose about 25% if you sell it here. If I took that $6,000 load here, I'd probably get $4,500, you know, versus if I drove for an hour or so, 2 hours away, I could get that other 25%.
The black market for copper is falling because of the rise in theft.
10 times worse more than what we get for it. But these people have moved up in the world. They got cameras everywhere now.
Getting top dollar for his stash will be tough. It's make or break time.
As this is going to be our last one, you know.
Williston's oil boom bust is even impacting the town's biggest underground operator.
Right now, it is down, and business is a lot slower.
The Fed's strike force is starting to crack down on prostitution. And that's creating a headache for pimps.
I worry about the cops all the time. They stepped up their task force by 3 times. That's always a concern.
With all this heat, Wild Bill's got to ensure his girls keep a low profile.
They don't meet any new clients. For the girls that had irregulars, they don't deal with anyone new.
This pimp is now dependent on his regulars to keep him solvent. But if the bust deepens, he's in trouble. He's banking on stimulating demand with a fresh stable of girls.
Right now, I'm on my way to the train station. I'm picking up one of my new girls. She's coming in from California. I'm confident she'll do very well.
Nevertheless, his business relies on the revival of the oil industry.
You have to know and believe with so much oil that's being generated out here, at some point it's going to pick back up.
While the pimp waits for the boom to bounce back. Next morning, it's bad news for copper thieves Cowboy and Hoodoo. They got double-crossed by their crew.
The 2 guys I usually use, they got greedy and went back without me. And they just took a pretty big pile and they got caught. They screwed it up. They had violated the rules of the game and took a lot of money from me.
The 2 meth addicts are still where they started. Small-time thieves trapped in a boom-bust town. But a new business venture is opening up for Cowboy.
I got offered the opportunity to be a big part in the meth world, handling it, you know, distributing it. If I started doing meth, sky's the limit. Sky's the limit. I mean, I could take it to 20, 30,000 a month if I wanted to.
He knows it presents huge risks.
I really say from the bottom of my heart, if I do get out of here without catching time or getting killed or whatever, I'll probably never touch again.
If the cops catch him dealing, he'll end up here.
This morning we're doing pretty well. We've got 127 in, which is good because the weekend's coming up and we'll need the space. The Williams County Jail was designed to have some classrooms and some meeting spaces. Unfortunately, all of those places have been turned into sleeping quarters for the inmates because of the overcrowding.
The jail's adapting to the crime rate, but it's tough keeping pace.
It's pretty much tripled our staff, but we've quadrupled our inmate population.
The sheriff knows the boom is not what it was.
Some people are coming to get rich. Not very many people are. There are no freebies here, and if you don't have a skill, there's nothing for you here.
The noon train arrives, bringing a trickle of still hopeful fortune seekers to Williston. But this Wild West town can trap you, one way or another. Sergeant Fry is still chasing petty thieves.
It's always a good week when we can recover stuff and a bad guy goes to jail. When this job gets into your blood, it's hard to do anything different.
Hoodoo's learned this boom-bust town can bleed you dry.
I found out that money's not everything. I would much rather be struggling, living in a shack, than come out here and make a bunch of money. Don't come out here with the idea that it's just a black gold rush. You can make some good money, but you're gonna pay for it.